Hello student, welcome to this class of gravitation. In this class, let us learn about Earth satellite. Earth satellites ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಭೂಮಿಯ ಉಪಗ್ರಹಗಳು. Earth satellites are the object revolve around the earth and their motion is very similar to the motion of the planet around the sun. Thus, Kepler's law of planetary motion we can equally apply for these satellites which revolve around the earth. When we talk about Earth satellites, there are two types, that is natural satellites and the artificial satellite. So the natural satellites ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಸ್ವಾಭಾವಿಕ ಉಪಗ್ರಹಗಳು, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಆರ್ಟಿಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಟಲೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಕೃತಕ ಉಪಗ್ರಹಗಳು. Earth has only one natural satellite, that is moon. Moon revolves around the earth. If you consider this as a earth, moon revolves around the earth and the time period of moon, time period anta helidre time taken to complete one revolution around the earth, ಭೂಮಿಯ ಸುತ್ತ ಒಂದು ಸುತ್ತು ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ 27.3 days ಬೇಕು ಮೂನಿಗೆ. So the time period of moon around the earth is 27.3 days. This period is approximately equal to the rotation of moon about its own axis. Mercury, that is Buddha, Venus ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಶುಕ್ರ, they don't have any natural satellites. ಬುಧ ಮತ್ತು ಶುಕ್ರ ಗ್ರಹಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಸ್ವಾಭಾವಿಕ ಉಪಗ್ರಹಗಳು ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. Then the planets like Mars, that is Mangala, and Jupiter, that is Guru. Mars and Jupiter, they have the natural satellite. Mars has two natural satellites and the Jupiter has 16 natural satellites. Around 1957, the advances in technology has enabled many countries, including India, to launch the artificial Earth satellites for the practical applications. So, the practical application in the sense in the field of telecommunication, meteorology, and in the field of geophysics. Next, let us learn about the orbital velocity of the satellite. Orbital velocity. Before going to the expression for orbital velocity, let us know what is the orbital velocity is. The velocity required to put a satellite into a given orbit around the earth. What we call that velocity as, that is orbital velocity. Velocity required to put a satellite into a given orbit around the earth is called orbital velocity. Now let us go for expression for orbital velocity. Orbital velocity ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಕಕ್ಷೀಯ ವೇಗ. So for that consider a figure here, that is, this is the earth and this is one of the orbit around the earth where the satellite S, which is at a height h from the surface of the earth, let RE be the radius of the earth. So, consider a satellite of mass m revolving around the earth at a height RE plus h. So, the radius of this circular path, that is nothing but RE plus h. So, the satellite is revolving around the earth at a distance RE plus h, that is the distance from center of earth to the satellite. Okay. Then, whenever the body is moving in a circular motion, you studied in earlier chapter, whenever the body is moving in a circular motion, there exists a centripetal force. Centripetal force. You have the expression for centripetal force, that is mv square by r. M is the mass and v is the velocity what you have there. But here r refers to mv square by re plus h, because the radius of this circular path is re plus h. This centripetal force for this satellite to move in a circular path, who is going to provide this centripetal force here for the motion of the satellite around the earth? That is provided by the gravitational force of attraction. Gravitational force of attraction. What is expression for gravitational force? You studied in the previous session of this chapter, that is the gravitational force is given by the gravitational constant, mass of the earth into mass of the satellite divided by square of the distance between two masses. But r means once again here, that is g m e divided by r is re plus h, the whole square, right? So, it is very clear that for circular motion, that is the motion of this satellite around the earth, necessary centripetal force is provided by the gravitational force. Thus, if you take this equation as 1 and this equation as 2, we have mv square divided by re plus h, which is equal to equating equation 1 with the equation 2. So, g m divided by re plus h, the whole square. Now go for simplification. I will cancel the common terms. The square of re plus h cancel with re plus h on the either side. Now you are with the expression for velocity, that is velocity square, what you have it here. V square is equal to g m e divided by re plus h. This is the expression of the velocity square. So, the orbital velocity is equal to square root of g m e divided by re plus h. This is the expression for the orbital velocity of a satellite around the earth. So, if you go further, that is h is equal to 0. What I mean to say here, h is equal to 0, that is the satellite is very close to the surface of earth. Compared to the radius of earth, that height is neglected. At that time h is equal to 0 you can take it. At that time what you can write for v, that is square root of GME divided by RE. Here ME is the mass of the earth and g is the gravitational constant and r is the radius of the earth. So, me is the mass of the earth and re is the radius of the earth. Radius of the earth. And g is the gravitational constant. See, if you go further simplification, you have studied that acceleration due to gravity, about acceleration due to gravity in the previous session, that is given by g me by re whole square, right? So, what you have get for v, that is nothing but square root of g into re. This is the expression relates velocity of the satellite with the acceleration due to gravity. Next, let us go for the time period of the satellite. Time period is the time taken by the satellite to complete one revolution around the earth. Now, we have that the velocity expression what we obtained in a previous derivation, that is velocity of orbital velocity of a satellite, that is square root of g me by re plus h. So, if you go for the period, so we have the velocity is equal to distance by time. Distance by time. Thus, we need time here. We have to go for time is equal to distance by velocity. Distance by velocity. So, the distance what the satellite is going to cover when it revolves around the earth. So, when it revolves around the earth, time taken for one rotation is a period. So, in one rotation, what is the distance travelled by the satellite? The distance travelled by the satellite is nothing but circumference of the circle. What is circumference of the circle expression you have? That is 2 pi r, right? Here r is nothing but that is re, that is the radius of the earth plus height of the satellite from the surface of the earth. So, what you have the distance? Distance is nothing but 2 pi into re plus h. Then the velocity, we have it with this expression. So, if you go for substituting the value of v, what you are going to get? The time period t is equal to 2 pi re plus h divided by square root of g me divided by re plus h. Now, go for the simplification, that is 2 pi re plus h. I will take this re plus h to the numerator, that is re plus h to the power half, because it is in a square root, inside the square root. So, the denominator will be square root of g me. Then here is the power 1 plus half. So, you have 2 pi re plus h to the power 3 by 2 divided by square root of g into me. This is the expression for the period you have. T is equal to 2 pi re plus h to the power 3 by 2 divided by square root of g into me. If t square, if I go for, what is that? 4 pi square re plus h the cube divided by g into me. If I take this constant term together here, so 2 pi square divided by g into me and this is Re plus H whole cube. So if I take this constant as K, Re plus H cube, so that is T square. If you go for this, which implies that T square is proportional to Re plus H the whole cube. What it means here? This is nothing but Kepler's third law, that is Kepler's law of period, that is square of the period is proportional to the cube of the radius of that circular path. Next is the period of the satellite, what you have it here, that is 2 pi Re plus H 3 by 2 root of GME, right? That is the period what you have obtained with the derivation. So here the period in this expression, if you put H is equal to 0, what I mean to say here, when the satellite is very close to the earth's surface compared to the radius of the earth, the H can be neglected. So if you put H is equal to 0, what we have, the period is equal to 2 pi Re to the power 3 by 2 and root GME. So if you take this Re like this inside the square root, that is nothing but Re cube divided by GME. Then just rearranging, that is 2 pi root of Re divided by GME by Re square. I'll keep this one Re here and Re square I'll take to this denominator here. Rearrangement such that what is this data you have, that is nothing but G, right? Acceleration due to gravity, GME by Re square. So if you substitute that value, 2 pi root of Re by G. This is the expression for the period of a satellite revolving near to the surface of the earth. Then we have this expression which relates the period of the satellite with radius of the satellite and acceleration due to gravity. The period expression, that is the period of the satellite very near to the surface of the earth. If you substitute the value here, Re is equal to 6,400 kilometer, that is nothing but 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 meters. Then G is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. At that time T comes out to be, that is 2 into 3.14 square root of 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 and divided by 9.8. If you substitute, you are going to get T as 85 minutes. So which means that when a satellite revolves very close to the surface of earth, at that time it takes only 85 minutes to complete one rotation or one revolution around the earth. Students, let us solve some numerical related to the previous derivation. The planet Mars has two moons, Phobos and Deimos. The Phobos has the period of 7.39 hour, that is period is equal to 7.39 hour, and the radius, that is R is equal to 9.4 into 10 to the power 3 kilometers. Calculate the mass of the Mars. In the first part of the problem, you are supposed to calculate the mass of the Mars. Assume Earth and Mars move in a circular orbit around the Sun, with Martian orbit being 1.52 times of the orbital radius of the Earth. What is the length of the Martian years in day? That you are supposed to calculate in the second part. So the first part of the problem, that is you are supposed to calculate the mass of the Mars. Before that, let us go for the formula what we have to use it here, that is the period square, that is 4 pi square R cube divided by GMM. Here GMM refers to the mass of the Mars. Here the Phobos is revolving around the Mars. So the radius of Phobos what we are going to consider, and it is not RE plus H once again, it itself it is given as the radius, so you have to go for R only. So and M is the mass of the Mars you have to go for. So period is given and R is given, so you are supposed to calculate M. So M is equal to what you have 4 pi square R cube divided by G into T square, right. So here before going for the substitution you have to convert this given data into the standard units, that is 7 hour and 39 minutes. So 7 hour and 39 minutes it is. 7 hour and 39 minutes. So 7 hour means 7 into 60, that much minutes plus 39 minutes. So what you have 7 into 60, that is 420 minutes plus 39 minutes. So what you have period is equal to 459 minutes. So this is in the problem, that is 7 hour and 39 minutes. So the period is 459 minutes here, and the radius also, if you convert that one into standard unit, it is in kilometer. If you convert that one into meter, so it will be 9.4 into 10 to the power 6 meters. Okay. Now you substitute the data in the given formula here, that is also G is equal to, we know that is a gravitational constant 6.67 in 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. If you substitute that data, mass of the Mars is equal to 6.4 into 10 to the power 23 kg. So that is the value what you are going to get for the mass of the Mars. For this part of the problem you have to use the Kepler's third law, that is T square is proportional to R cube, that is period square is proportional to radius cube. So what they have given the data there, that is radius of the Mars is 1.52 times of radius of the Earth. So if you go for that is the time period of this Mars you are supposed to find in terms of, that is Martian length of the year in days you are supposed to find. So for that period of this Mars, let us go for the period of Mars square divided by the period of Earth square. So T square of Mars is proportional to R cube of Mars, and T square of Earth is proportional to RE cube. If you take the ratios here, if Rm cube divided by Re cube. So it is given that Rm is, in the problem they have given data that Rm is equal to 1.52 times of Re. Then you substitute that given data here, so that is 1.52 Re whole cube divided by Re cube. That is time period of this Mars is equal to 1.52 cube Re cube divided by Re cube. This is T E square. So Re cube get cancelled with Re cube with the numerator, then Tm is equal to, so if you take the square root of this whole equation, that is 1.52 3 by 2 T E. The period of Earth around the Sun is 365 days, because we need the answer in days, that's why. So 1.52 into 10 to the power 3 by 2 into 365. If you simplify the expression here, you are going to get 684 days. If you substitute the value and get the answer as 684 days. The next problem, how will you weigh the sun? Estimate its mass. The mean radius of earth around the sun is 1.5 in 10 to the power 8 kilometer. Here the sun is at the center and earth is revolving around the sun. So this is the problem what we have it here. So you are supposed to weigh the sun, the weight of the, or the mass of the sun you have to find it here. So the given data, that is the radius of earth around the sun, that is equal to, that is r, that is actually re plus h in our problem, that is r is equal to 1.5 into 10 to the power 8 kilometer. So this is 1.5 into 10 to the power 8 and 10 to the power 3, that is 10 to the power 11 meters. Okay. Then the radius is known, and the expression what you have to go for, the period of the circular motion, that is 2 pi square root of re plus h by gm, re plus h cube by gm. This is what the expression you have or you studied. So re plus h itself is r now, that is re plus h together we will consider as r. Okay. So if you go for here, you are supposed to find the mass of the sun. So the mass of the sun, if you go for, that is T square, you have to go for, T square is equal to 4 pi square r cube divided by g ms. So ms is equal to 4 pi square r cube divided by g into t square. So this is the rearrangement you have to make with this formula. Then you have to substitute the given data. Period of the earth around the sun, so t is equal to 365 days. 365 days, so one day is 24 hours. So what you have to convert that, 365 into 24, 24 hours to be converted into minutes by multiplying by 60, and this whole data is converted into second by multiplying 60. So this much seconds. If you go for substitution and g is known, that is 6.67 gravitational constant minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. So if you substitute all those data here, that is 4 into 3.14 square, and this r value what you got it here, that is 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 cube divided by 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 into t square is 365 into 24 into 60 into 60. If you substitute all those data, the mass of the sun comes out to be 2.01 into 10 to the power 30 kg. Students, let us learn energy of the orbiting satellite. Let us get the expression for the energy of orbiting satellite. We have the velocity of the satellite, that is square of the velocity we went for in the previous expression, that is v square is equal to g me divided by re plus h. So me is the mass of the earth, re is the radius of the earth. So what you have, g me divided by re plus h. Then the kinetic energy of the satellite is given by, half mv square. If you substitute the value of v here, so what you have, half m into v square is nothing but gme divided by Re plus H. So the kinetic energy will be half into G m E into m divided by Re plus H, where small m is the mass of the satellite. So the kinetic energy is GME m divided by 2 into Re plus H. Take this equation as 1. Now the potential energy of the satellite. Potential energy of the satellite you studied in the previous session about the potential energy. When an object is raised above the surface of the earth, the potential energy of that object, potential energy possessed by that object is given by minus G m by R, G m m by R. So here R means that is Re plus H. So using the same expression, the potential energy of the satellite is equal to minus G mass of the earth, mass of the satellite, and Re plus H. Kinetic energy is positive and potential energy is negative, and the magnitude of kinetic energy is half of that of potential energy. Thus the total energy, if you calculate, that is total energy is kinetic energy plus potential energy. So if you go for, that is G m E into m divided by Re plus H to 2, that is the kinetic energy, plus, and this potential energy is minus G m E m divided by Re plus H. So if you simplify this, this is half minus 1, so it is half minus 1, so you have minus half. So minus half into G m E m divided by Re plus H. So the total energy is, the total energy of the satellite is minus G into mass of the earth, mass of the satellite divided by radius of the satellite and height of the satellite from the surface of earth. This is what the expression, what you have it for the total energy of the satellite orbiting around the earth. So the total energy is negative, Re plus H is equal to infinity. If you substitute, it is clear that kinetic energy will be 0, potential energy will be 0, therefore the total energy is 0. The total energy is negative means here the energy, you have to supply the energy to the satellite in order to make that free from the earth gravitational force. So when you take the satellite to infinite distance, at that time it is free from earth's gravitational force. The positive amount of work must be done to move the satellite out of gravitational force of the earth. If you are not supplying the energy to the satellite, it will continuously moving around the earth in a allowed orbit. So what I mean to say here, the satellite is bound to the earth. So if you go for that binding energy, it is the energy required to remove the satellite from its orbit. So the binding energy is equal to the energy of the satellite at infinity minus the energy of the satellite in the orbit. So the binding energy is always equal to minus of this total energy. Total energy is minus G m E by m divided by Re plus H. So this is negative of negative, so the binding energy is equal to positive, that is G m E m divided by 2 Re plus H. Students, let us solve the numerical related to the previous derivation, that is the energy of the satellite. A rocket is fired vertically upward with the speed 5 kilometers per second from the earth surface. How far from the earth does the rocket go before returning to the earth? Given these data are given, that is mass of the earth, radius of the earth and g. Let at a height h, when it reaches the height h, the rocket will return back to earth when it reaches the height h. So, from the conservation of energy, it is very clear that the total energy of the rocket at the surface of earth is equal to the total energy of the rocket at height h. So, let h be the height. When a rocket reaches this height, it come back, it starts its return journey. From the conservation of energy, what you can write, the total energy, that is Ke plus P, that is kinetic energy plus potential energy at the surface of earth is equal to the kinetic energy plus potential energy at a height h. Okay. So, what is the kinetic energy at the surface of earth is half mv square of the rocket, and the potential energy, that is minus g me into m divided by re. It is on the surface of the earth, so you have only re. And kinetic energy and the potential energy at a height h. When a rocket is fired from the surface of earth, it reaches the height h. When it reaches the height h, the kinetic energy becomes 0 and it starts to return from that point. So, at a height h, what happens? The kinetic energy is 0 and the potential energy is minus g me into m divided by re plus h. Because at the height h now, so it is re plus h from the center of the earth. So, that is re plus h. So, m is common throughout in whole equation. If you cancel out that m, so what you are being v square by 2, v square by 2 minus g me by re, which is equal to minus g me divided by re plus h. So, what you have? 2 re into g me divided by 2 g me minus v square by re. After this much of step, you have to go for the substitution of those values. If you substitute the values, R2 into RE value, that is 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 into G value 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11, ME, that is 6 into 10 to the power 24, then in the denominator 2 into G value is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 into the mass of the earth, that is 6 into 10 to the power 24 minus V square, that is V is given that 5 kilometers per second. Convert that one into standard unit, meter per second, that is 5000 meter per second. So, you have V square is nothing but 5 into 10 to the power 3 square into RE. RE is the radius 6.4 into 10 to the power 6. If you substitute all these data and RE plus H comes out to be 8 into 10 to the power 6 meters. Now, you are supposed to calculate H. So, you have to go for H is equal to 8 into 10 to the power 6 minus RE. What is the value of RE? That is 6.4 into 10 to the power 6. 8 into 10 to the power 6 minus 6.4 into 10 to the power 6. So what you have here 1.6. 1.6 into 10 to the power 6 meter. That is the value of h. At a height h of 1.6 into 10 to the power 6, it will start its return journey. The next problem is a satellite orbits the earth at a height 400 kilometer above the surface of earth. So h is equal to 400 kilometer above the surface of earth. How much energy must be expended to rocket the satellite out of earth's gravitational influence? So you have to find what is the energy needed to remove the satellite from that orbit. So we have the total energy of the satellite at a given orbit is given by minus g me into m divided by 2 into re plus h, and substituting the datas of given datas here, the h is equal to, that is 400 into 10 to the power 3, that is 4 into 10 to the power 5 meters what you have. Then the mass of the satellite is 200 kg. Mass of the satellite is 200 kg. So small m is equal to 200 kg and mass of the earth 6 into 10 to the power 4 kg, and radius of the earth is known, that is re is equal to 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 meters. So now substitute the datas here. Before substituting, you keep these powers same. So for that 4.4 into 10 to the power 6 meters, 10 to the power 6 meter. Okay. Now if you substitute the datas, that is g is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11, and mass of the earth 6 into 10 to the power 24. Mass of the satellite is 200 divided by 2 into re is 6.4 plus 0.4 into 10 to the power, I will take that 10 to the power 6 outside, that is, if you substitute this value, you are getting the value minus 5.89 into 10 to the power 9 joules. So if you substitute the value here, you are going to get the final value, that is minus 5.89 into 10 to the power 9 joules. This is the energy of the satellite in that particular orbit. And what is the energy supply? What is the energy to be supplied to make that free from that orbit? That is, you are taking that satellite out of that orbit. What is the energy needed to rocket the satellite out of Earth's gravitational influence? For that is the energy to be supplied to remove the rocket from its orbit. That is nothing but the energy is nothing but the energy at the infinity, that is, if you take that energy as E1, energy at infinity minus energy of the satellite at that particular orbit. So energy at infinity is 0. So what is the energy of that satellite at particular orbit is minus of minus 5.89 into 10 to the power 9 joules. So this is plus 5.89 into 10 to the power 9 joules. This is the energy supplied to remove that satellite from the orbit. Students, let us move on to the next concept, that is artificial satellites categories. The artificial satellites are classified into two main categories, that is geostationary satellites and the polar satellites. Now let us see one by one this what is geostationary satellite is. Geostationary satellite, as its name tells, geo refers to the earth and stationary means constant. When we observe from the earth, this satellite is observed as stationary. So, with respect to Earth, these satellites are considered as stationary or at a constant position. So, what we call such a satellite is a geostationary satellite. So, the geostationary satellite here is one whose period is 24 hours, that is, it is same as that of period of rotation of Earth around about its own axis. The period of revolution of Earth about its axis is 24 hours, and this satellite also takes 24 hours to cover one rotation around the Earth. So, the period of rotation of this satellite around the Earth is same as that of period of rotation of Earth about its own axis. Therefore, with respect to Earth, that satellite appears as a stationary. Re plus H is equal to T square GME divided by 4 pi square to the power 1 by 3. With that relationship, you can calculate what is the height of that satellite. So, where you have to place that satellite, in which height you have to place that satellite above the surface of Earth. H can be calculated. If you go for substituting the value of period, that is T is equal to 24 hours, that is 24 hour, you have to convert that one into second, 24 into 60 into 60. Then G value and the mass of the Earth is known, and pi value if you substitute, you will get the value H as 35,800 kilometers, nearly about 36,000 kilometers. So, to launch such a satellite to such a large height, the height is about 35,800 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. So, for that the very powerful rockets are required to launch a satellite to such a large height. The satellite which appears stationary with respect to Earth, that is called as geostationary satellite. These satellites, the main application of these satellites as a communication satellite. So, these satellites, how they revolve around the Earth, that is you can see with this picture here, that is the geostationary satellites orbit around the Earth in west to east direction, and they are coplanar with the equatorial plane. The equatorial plane is one the plane which contains the equator. So, geostationary satellite revolve around the Earth. You can see that the green point here, that is the direction of rotation, how it is going to rotate, and this is the orbit of geostationary satellite, and this orbit is also called as parking orbit of a satellite. The main application of the geostationary satellite, it comes under communication. So, in communication, the low frequency signals can be transmitted by line of sight transmission. So, the low frequency signal can be transmitted by the line of sight transmission, and the frequency range of 2 megahertz to 10 megahertz can be transmitted with the help of ionosphere, because the ionosphere is able to reflect the radio waves of frequency 2 megahertz to 10 megahertz. So, they can be transmitted to a longer distance with the help of ionosphere. But when you talk about the television broadcasting and other communication purpose, that is television broadcasting and other applications, for that high frequency signals are used which are not reflected by the ionosphere. For that, geostationary satellite acts as a broadcasting station. They will receive the signal from the broadcasting station because they appear stationary with respect to Earth. When observed from the Earth, in a broadcasting station is here, from the station that satellite appears stationary. So, with respect to station, that satellite is stationary and the signal is sent to that satellite from the broadcasting station. So, at that time it will receive the signal, and broadcast once again to the other area of the earth. Like that, the signals can be sent over the entire globe. You can see that here with this figure. The 3 satellites can be used to cover the entire globe. Actually, one satellite can cover 1/3 part of the earth. So, 3 satellites together, they can cover the entire globe for information transmission. INSAT and GSAT are the communication satellites sent by the India, and the first satellite sent by India is Aryabhatta. Next is polar satellites. Polar satellites, the polar satellites revolve around the earth in a north to south orbit. They are passing through the pole of the earth. So, the polar satellites, how they orbit? They orbit around the earth from one pole to another, around the earth in a orbit which is moving from north to south, and they move through the poles of the earth. They are also called as low altitude satellites. So, they are placed at a very less height when you compare to the geostationary satellite, which is nearly about 36,000 km from the surface of earth. These satellites are placed at a height nearly 500 to 800 km above the earth, and the period of rotation of this polar satellite is about 1 or 2 minutes. Here the satellite, how they rotate around the earth, you can see that here they will move from north to south and passing through the poles of the earth. And as this satellite revolves around the earth, so when it moves around the earth in a one particular orbit, the camera attached to this satellite will cover the one strip of the earth, and the adjacent strip will be covered in the next orbit. Like that, whole earth information or the photograph can be collected by moving with the strip by strip motion of that satellite. And these satellite can view equatorial and the polar region at a close distance with the good resolution, because they are observe the earth with the very low height compared to the geostationary satellite. Information gathered from such a satellite is extremely useful in the field of remote sensing, meteorology and environmental studies of earth. If you sum those concept of uses of the satellite, that is low polar satellite, that is polar satellites are mainly used for weather forecasting and imaging Earth's surface. Spy satellite, the spy satellites are mainly used in intelligence of military applications and scientific researchers, GPS, global position system. And geostationary satellites, the main application as I told, that is in the communication, including TV signal broadcasting and weather forecasting. That is geostationary satellite is also for weather forecasting, but is mainly for the long forecasting system. Next is weightlessness. Before going to weightlessness, you should know what is weight. Weight is the force with which earth attracts the object. We are standing on the surface of earth, the weight will be exerted by the person on that surface, and the surface will exert a force in the direction opposite to the weight of that person. So, to keep the object at stationary. So, the weightlessness is experienced by the freely falling object. In a lift or elevator, when it falls under gravity, that is a freely falling elevator, person inside the elevator or the lift experiences the weightlessness. Whenever a body falls under gravity, at that time the acceleration of that body is equal to the g, that is nothing but the acceleration of the body is equal to the acceleration due to gravity. At that time the person inside that object will experience the weightlessness. Here also the same thing takes place. The person inside the satellite experiences the weightlessness, because if you go for the picture here, as the satellite it is moving around the earth, we have studied that the satellite moves in a circular path. Who is going to provide the necessary centripetal force for that circular path is nothing but the gravitational force. The gravitational force is responsible for the circular motion of that body. It will provide the necessary centripetal force for the circular motion of the satellite around the earth. Unless if there is no gravitational force, at that time this satellite might have moved straight. Because of gravitational force, it forces the satellite to move in a circular path. With the gravity, how it is going to move, and without gravity, how it is what is the path of that satellite will be. You can see that here. So if there is no gravity, means the satellite has moved straight. So because of gravity, it is moving in a circular path. What happens? At every point of this circular motion, the satellite is freely falling body, because it is always here. You can see that it is always at every point it is going to fall out of its path. So in its circular path, the satellite is continuously falling out of its circular path. So the satellite is moving in a circular path. Without gravity, it might have moved straight. Because of gravity, it forces to move in a circular path. That is, because of gravity, at every point of its path, the satellite is continuously experiencing the free fall. It is under the free fall. The free fall, that is, it is fall of its straight line path. So because of this, what happens, the satellite itself is a freely falling body, and also the person inside the satellite is also like a freely falling object. Because of this, what happens, they feel the weightlessness inside the satellite or the spaceship. You can see the next slide here, how the astronaut inside the satellite, how they just float in the spaceship or the satellite. With this, I will conclude this session. Thank you.